gearheads, thanks for tuning in. On this episode of Dan's Garage, Dan's going to be trading out this old nasty camera for this pretty new one. Hey Dan, run that intro.
Hey gearheads, thanks for tuning in. Like Ashley said, this camera is getting a little bit too flexible for my taste. Plus, the original camera is in its way, and we got this other one that has the night vision and everything. I think it's going to give us a better quality picture, even though this one does give a great picture. So the plan is remove this one, and install this one. We'll see how it looks. Let's get into it. So the first thing I need to do is pull off this panel because the camera and the wires go through the upper piece of the back gate, so we need to access that. So we'll pull this off. First thing we need to do is take screws out of there and here. Let's get to it. And then just pop all the poppers off with something like this. Now this front piece does have to come off first. After all that's done, we need to open this up because there's two poppers in here we need to get off. They're right here. Once these are off, it just lifts up and goes out of the way. And then this will come off, slide it up a little bit, and it's all set. Now there are 4 nuts in here. There's a hole there, and there's a hole over there, and there's a hole over there. And all these 4 have to be taken off for that piece to come off. I'll show you when it's off. If you're keeping score, the Torx were T30 and the bolts here, 10 millimeter. Once that's done, there are 2 poppers at the top corners we need to pop up. Or break off. Now with this off, you can see where I tapped in the power for the camera, which the good thing with these is they just plug in, so I can unplug this one and that'll get rid of this, and then the stock camera I'm just going to unplug here and take it out of here. That's really just for clearance. So this should be pretty easy, popping it out of here, and then the new one will go right through and get mounted onto this. So actually what I can do is I can unplug this from the truck, and then we can take this into the workshop, put it on the bench, and get it going in there. Here we go. And these have to stay with the truck. And then this will come out. I did have a nice tight fit on this because I didn't want it to be loose, but we don't have to worry about that on the next one because it comes with a grommet. Alright, with all that out of the way, all we have to do is unscrew this one and it will come right off. Like I said, this is a really good camera. It shows well. It's just the mount is a little too loose for my taste. So this one is a lot more heavy duty, and it's got the night vision, so it's going to look a lot better. Let's look at the mount. So if you watch the older videos, I got this mounted in here, so we're just going to have to take this off, and I think I'm going to mount the other camera onto this piece, and then that way we don't have to worry about the license plate getting in the way. So from what I recall, I just glued this on, so hopefully we can just gently separate it. Nice job. It should just come out of here. Now this is still a good camera, so if anybody needs a backup camera for their GMC, Chevy, or Escalade, let me know. I got some for sale. So now the plan is going to be to just attach this here. So I guess the way this looks, I might be able to put some screws through here and have some washers on the back, and that should work. And then the wire has this nice big grommet, so I think I'll just put it through here, which it should fit pretty easily, and I'll just have to drill it out a little bit bigger for the grommet, and then that'll go through there, and it'll go inside and plug into the other wire. Alright, got all that done, so I have the grommet in here, so the wire will go inside here, you'll never see it. Got the camera mounted on the bottom here, it's very sturdy. I can figure out what angle I want to do, and then lock it in with these 4 screws here. So all we have to do is go plug all these wires back in, hook the camera up, and plug it all back in. Alright, so to plug this all in, basically just need to put the license plate lamps back in. Remember, this is how I tapped into the power for the camera, so yours may be different. We have the power wire here, which is just a whole lot of wire we don't need. And we just got to plug that in the end. That makes it nice and easy, so that's done. And then this other one for the license plate light is going to go in here. And then lastly, the switch for the glass. Alright, once all that's plugged in, we don't need to plug this in anymore because that was the original one for the camera. We need to make sure these studs get in these holes and these poppers go in these top corners. And then we'll go on the inside and finish it up. Pretty much it out here. Then you want to very gently put these nuts back on the studs. And I say gently because mine broke. So these don't need to be really super tight. I would just hand tight them and snug them very gently. That way you're not going to break anything. Here's number 2. And here's number 3. There's a 4th one here, but it's behind the wiper motor, and I don't feel like taking that out and attaching it. And it's a good thing because I didn't have to do it to do this project. Alright, now that these are snug, we can put on the inner panels. So once you have this kind of up here, it just needs to go on the outside of these 2 tabs, and that'll slide down. You can actually put these back in now. And these are just those push type fasteners. So those 2 will go back in there. And once you close that, you can open it up. Make sure you grab the bottom of it so it doesn't hang down. These 2 poppers do go on this way, everything else basically goes on that way. So if you can pry these over and pop them down in, that'll hold it. And everything else, make sure you get those center poppers, and the rest, just click on. And then for this piece, these do go in this way, and then these poppers go on that way. So make sure you're pushing it in that way and then up. If you do have the defrost wires here, make sure they go in the notches here so they don't get messed up. Make sure none of the wires are in the way. and this will just click right in. And the last thing is these two torque screws. And that's it for the install. Let's see how it looks. So here's the final view. It's not hiding the license plate. No one's ever going to see that there's old holes up there. Looks like it's going to be very sturdy. I do have to aim it, so I'm going to put the hitch in and we'll aim it so the hitch is just in view and see what it looks like. Okay. So this just comes off with two little pins there. It slides over. Now my goal for this would be for just the bottom of the screen to show the ball and then most of it to show what I'm backing into. So let's see what it looks like. So as you know, I have my monitor here set up and it is on my lights. So I just got to hit the parking lights and hit the power and let's see what it looks like. No signal as it's booting up. So since I changed cameras, I actually have to go into the menu and I think I have to pair it. So we'll pair it. Oh no, I think I just have to hit OK. So hopefully this will work right away with the new camera, and it does. So that's lovely. That's a beautiful picture. Looks better in person than it does on here, but I'm going to put it down just a little bit so we can see how it looks. Also, if you notice, it's backwards. So this is the left side of the truck and this is the right side of the truck. So depending on how you like to operate, you can actually switch it so it's the opposite or the same, basically mirrored or not, depending on how you're used to backing up. So that's pretty cool. You can also flip it up and down if your monitor is set up a different way or something like that. And of course you can split screen if you have multiple cameras, which we do, but they're not connected. So here's the final view. This is a close-up, so you can see I got the ball just at the bottom, but I can mostly see behind me, so I can lock it in and we'll be in good shape. And you just want to take a number 3 Allen and just snug down on these just good enough so they're not going to fall out. Ooh, make sure it doesn't move. There we go. So that's it. Pretty much plug and play, swapping the camera out, not a big deal. I think we have a lot cleaner setup now. There's not 2 cameras. I don't have to worry about the license plate being in the way and stuff like that. So if you'd like to watch the original video on the install on this, I'll put a link at the end of this. There'll also be in the description below a link to the system, which is the Rohent camera system. This one is the R12 model. Goes in really easily. The picture has been great. I've had no interference at all from the wireless. It works really great. So until next time, thanks for watching. Check out the other channels down below. They're cool channels you should be looking at. Also links to all my other social media. Make sure to like this video and subscribe if you're interested in more content. I do work on the Yukon, but I'm mainly a hot rod channel working on Chevelles and muscle cars. So until next time, stay positive and keep on wrenching.